Okay, so this is going to be just a quick first initial video to get put out of how to upgrade your Scream costume. This one is the Spirit Halloween version. It's a little bit older. I think I got it last October. And I've got that as well as the gloves. They sold officially licensed. And I've done some fair modifications to it, but this is going to kind of walk you through what the small things that you can do. You can obviously repattern the sleeves, make them movie accurate, or you can go as far to make the entire robe yourself out of a glittery material to make it fully movie accurate. But these are just modifying the store-bought costume. So straight out of the bag, you should have a belt, the robe, and the mask. The ones that normally come with the costumes are hard plastic rather than the rubber ones, and then you can choose to get the gloves. So the first and quickest and easiest modification to do, because you need absolutely nothing extra, is to take the belt and just throw it out. Throw it in a scrap pile, do something with it. There's not any movie that I can directly think of where he actually wears the belt. Certainly not within the first couple of movies that they put out does he ever wear a belt. And then the gloves are not entirely accurate if you are especially looking at the first couple. These are a pleather glove. Granted, they're nice pleather gloves. They're a stretchy pleather, and they'll fit rather nicely if you stretch them down. But what I normally will choose to do is getting black motorcycle gloves that are perforated. That way, they're a little bit easier to breathe in than these. They're a little stiffer and look a little nicer. They're also, since they are not pleather as these, they don't have quite a sheen on them, mainly on the fingers. Depending on what gloves you get, sometimes they will have top designs like these. These are Harley riding gloves. So they do have the Harley logo as well as a band around the knuckles, which I feel will look better in most shots. Anywhere you're grabbing a knife, grabbing anything in particular, it kind of helps highlight your knuckles. And getting into personal modifications. So I've already done this on mine, but as the masks come, they have a thin sheet of fabric over them. And you can take anything. I think I took window screening, or you can take fan mesh, anything really, and spray paint it black, and it's a little more of a flat black than the original one. I don't think that I have one of the originals with the thin mesh on it, but because once you put it on, especially layered with the hood, it's a lot darker and looks a lot better, and then because you can't see your eyes or your face super clear. With the robe, what you can do is, I've opted not to, but if you take black sparkly spray paint, anything with glitter, anything really in that, and just do a thin coat of it all over, that will, one, make it a little less see-through, as you can see, and it will also add that kind of sheen that you see, especially in the first and second Scream, that really defines it, makes it a little more high quality looking. That way you're not completely fabricating the robe out of a separate fabric. It keeps it to being the same actual store-bought costume. Another thing that helps, especially with one of the plastic ones without the backing, is a balaclava or some sort of facial covering, whether it be a gaiter or anything, to cover the things that are left outside of the hood, around the hood, that is not just the neck and chin. While the balaclavas aren't always needed, especially if you have longer hair, a longer neck, a thicker neck, or anything else that would show through that hood, they are very much suggested. Try finding one that's a little more of a flat black, not a knitted black. I believe that this one's Under Armour. I use it for pretty much every cosplay that I need to tuck my hair, tuck anything. And this one actually goes really well with blending into the actual black fabric of the robe. And that will cover the back of your head, your forehead, your neck, anything that you really need covered. If you really wanted to, you can go full ninja style and just have your eyes showing. Or if you wanted a little bit more breathable under the hard plastic masks, it's easier to tuck it down into here. and I will go ahead and show you guys what that looks like. So it obviously looks a little goofy without the full robe on, but it helps cover your hair and your ears and chin and absolutely everything. If you really wanted to, you can even tuck the slight bit of fabric that it comes with into the actual chin of the mask. And it really helps just blend into the robe overall, as well as if you were to wear this to a convention and, you know, your hood comes off or something happens and you just don't notice, it's not as glaringly obvious because the entire back of your head is a black that blends in with the hood. And once again, going back to the robe, something that I've personally opted out of, the small shrouds that come off the arm that are triangular. You can look up pictures, depending on the movie. I believe that it changes between each movie what actual cut the robe is. The easiest one that it would probably be to cut into is the semicircle that you'll see in, I believe, Scream 1. Because if I'm remembering correctly, it's 2 semicircles and then a deeper cut. To my knowledge, the one that the costume company gives us, it's not accurate to any one movie. And there's small things that you can do all around this costume, really, whether it's replacing the gloves, fixing the eye mesh, or even fixing the color of the robe and making it sparkly, that can really set this into a more realistic style of Scream. And that goes with just about any store-bought costume. If you are willing to put in a little work, a little extra materials, and a few more man-hours into it, they can look absolutely amazing. That's the majority of my cosplays. And you can see me cosplaying using this particular costume this week, the week of October 19th. Well, next week by the time. And that should be coming out this Monday on Instagram under the same username, That One Cosplayer. Fantastic. Thank you guys for watching.